Hello, friends, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world, while also honoring and amplifying the lives of those we've lost. I'm Audrey, a former paralegal turned stay-at-home mom. I'm a neurospicy elder millennial who loves true crime. The cases I cover are wild, topics may be triggering, viewer and listener discretion is advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. With all that being said, grab your hot Cheetos and let's get started on today's case. I love a good Disney princess story, but I'm going to tell my daughter about the real-life princess who saved herself, Midsi Sanchez. Almost exactly 8 months after real-life cucuy Curtis Dean Anderson kidnapped Ziana Fairchild, he kidnapped Midsi Sanchez, and she miraculously managed to escape. Midsi and Ziana only lived 2 miles away from each other. Midsi also had a similar description to Ziana. She had olive skin, brown hair, brown eyes, and they were both taken on a Thursday. It was Thursday, August 10th of 2000, and Midsi was so excited for her birthday party celebration scheduled for that Saturday. She was one of 5 kids and was excited to have her tias, tios, primas, primos, and friends over to celebrate her belated birthday. She had just turned 8 on August 3rd, and this spunky girl was ready to pick up the birthday cake with her picture on it. And she begged her mom to stay home from school that day because she wanted to decorate everything for her party. Her mom said no and dropped her and her brother Ismael at Highland Elementary. It was a year-round school, so after she dropped her kids off, Susana Velasco headed to her job as a stylist at Supercuts in Pinole. And an August 12, 2000 Contra Costa Times article stated that Midsi was practicing the Selena song she was going to perform for her guests at her party. And when I read this, I almost broke out in tears and laughter because I too would perform Selena Quintanilla songs to anyone and everyone who listened. Midsi and her brother Ismael, who was 2 years older, would normally walk together to their house that was about 7 blocks away from school. She was only 1 block away from her home with her brother not far behind when she saw a man looking at her through his rearview mirror, parked in his 1984 Oldsmobile Forenza on the corner of Nebraska and Shasta Street in Vallejo, California. The man got out of his car, opened the passenger door, and asked Midsi if she could help him get some tape that he dropped on the passenger side of his car. He told Midsi that he had broke his hip in a motorcycle accident and could not reach it. So Midsi is a good person and she agreed to help him. As soon as she reached for the tape, he grabbed her, put his whole weight on her, covered her mouth so no one can hear her screaming. Scared shitless, she peed her pants. This real-life cucuy pushed her down to the floor of his nasty car, parked at a nearby store called Yardbirds, similar to a Home Depot. Curtis forced Midsi to change into a cheerleader outfit he already had in his car, made her put on makeup, nail polish, forced her to drink alcohol, but denied her food and water. His car's windows were covered in blankets. It was August, it was hot, and he had no AC. The next 44 hours under the wrath of this real-life cucuy, Midsi was raped and kept sedated with alcohol. Around 4 p.m., Susana Velasco, Mitzi's mom, called the house to check in. That's when she learned Mitzi had not made it to school that day. She called the school at around 5 p.m. and Mitzi was not there. At 5:40 p.m., the police were called and reported Midsi Sanchez missing. They were looking for a 4 feet tall girl that weighed about 80 pounds with brown eyes, brown hair. She was wearing jeans and a white t-shirt. The day after he took Mitzi, he showed up to her house and offered Mitzi's mom his help to look for the girl he had taken. On Saturday, August 12, 2000, Curtis drove to his former workplace, parked his car, got out, dropped something, and he told Mitzi not to look and he was going to be right back. A former co-worker, Thomas Flores, told reporters that Curtis showed up at the American Network building in Santa Clara, about 70 miles away from Vallejo, asking for money and a heavy-duty plastic bag. American Network Company is a company that delivers airlines' lost luggage to their rightful owners. Thomas gave his friend Curtis $2 and a plastic bag. While Curtis chopped it up with his old work buddies, Mitzi looked to see what Curtis had dropped, and on the floor of his filthy car, she saw a set of keys. Smart, brave Mitzi quickly realized this was her opportunity to grab the keys. She unlocked herself from the shackles, rolled down the window, and jumped out of the car. She wanted to run, but her knees buckled, and she was too weak to do so. So she started walking away. Several cars drove by and no one stopped to help her. She looked back and saw Curtis coming out of his former work building. Mitzi saw a big 18-wheeler truck, and with nothing to lose, she jumped in front of it. The truck stopped. She climbed up, got in through the window, and asked her guardian angel, Carl Tafua, for help. Carl Tofua is a Samoan family man who was not intending to go to work that day because it was his son's birthday and they were going to have a party. When he got called into work, he accepted as it would be a short shift and would be able to make it in time back to enjoy the party a little bit. My name is Midsi Sanchez. I have been kidnapped from Vallejo. Here he comes. He's going to kill me, she explained. Carl Tafua recognized Mitzi from the news and called in Curtis Dean's license plate through his work radio. Curtis Dean Anderson saw Mitzi rescuing herself and drove away. He stopped at another former coworker's mobile home in San Jose and asked if he could park his car there, telling her, "The less you know, the better you are." Despite this, the woman allowed Curtis to park his car there. Within a matter of hours, he would be arrested. On Saturday, August 12, 2000, at 11:30 a.m., Vallejo police received the call that Mitzi had been rescued herself from Santa Clara. She was taken to the hospital, got a rape kit done, and was reunited with her parents on Saturday evening. She came home to hundreds of people at her house, singing her happy birthday, while being carried in the safety of Juan Carlos Sanchez, her father's arms. On Saturday, August 12, 2000, at 7:45, authorities arrested Curtis Dean Anderson at 200 El Bosque Drive in San Jose, California.